The services.
Oh, fun.
Just I was on the talk. I got opinions.
Well, I've got opinions.
Well, good. This will be a good space for it. Good evening. Welcome to our events and commemorations meeting. Today is April 21st. It is 5:30 p.m. If we could get a roll call, please, Alyssa. Mrs. Cooper, here. Mr. Capel.
Here.
Mrs. Crawford. Here. 3 present. We have quorum. Thank you. I'm looking for a motion on the minutes from the March 17th meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second because I don't think you were here. You are not here. I'll second. Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper? Yes. Mr. Capel?
Abstain.
2 yeas, motion approved. Okay, thank you. Moving on to unfinished business, we have the Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Festival on October 3rd. Brian Kelly and Jillian Doucette Banton. Do you want to come up to the?
Yeah, we actually have a different Brian.
I was like, that's not your last name. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Are you part of this?
Yes.
Brian Hogue?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Jillian Doucette Banton, 630 Flintlock Drive, Cleveland, Ohio. First, apologize for my attire. I don't have my drains out for my surgery, so this is all that fits me. And then
You look great in anything, Jillian.
And then Mr. Kelly, he wanted to be here, but unfortunately his father passed away over the weekend and I'm burying him today.
Oh, gosh.
So, and he's happy to come to any future event with updates and sharing the event. But Brian and I at least still wanted to be here because working with Daryl in the city, we've made a lot of progress. And so today we wanted to bring forward a formal ask to a consideration and approval for the event. So we can start really marketing it properly. And answer any questions, but I'll let Brian go ahead and introduce himself before we go through updating you what we've accomplished since the last time we were here.
Okay.
Thank you, Jillian. Brian Hogue, guess I'll get my address to 7607 Hamilton Place, Galena in Berkshire Township. I've been a part of the Wing Fest, it's called the Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest. The company I work for, 97.1 The Fan, has been a media sponsor of the event for years. So I've been kind of on the board, helping to plan it, helping to market the event, and we've seen it grow over the past 3 years, from about 3,000 to 4,000 in year one to about 8,000 last year. And it's been held in Grove City. There was a need for a new location, and so that kind of spurred the conversations to start happening with Sunbury. And I thought this town is growing. It'd be a really good event that, we've already got good events in here in Sunbury, but it'd be a really good addition to what we have to offer here in Sunbury and showcase Sunbury. So that's why I brought it up, made the introductions, and here we are. So
Very interesting. Our worlds collide. Very cool.
thank you.
Okay, so where we're at today. So we've met, so since last time we met, we're still planning, and I think we could just keep it to this slide for the conversation discussion. Still wanting to have the Fallen Heroes Memorial be a beneficiary of the event and friends who share the beneficiary of the event. Really, again, with this being a first year event and a new location, our goal is to break even. Hopefully being able to, but that's our goal, is to have a break even event. So what we've accomplished since our last meeting is we have been able to have a thorough meeting with police and with the police department. The fire department. And outside of some minor tweaks to this map that they are working with Mr. Kelly on, they really have no concerns. They shared that they need to approve all of the food trucks and food vendors and have their licenses before the event. That's not a problem. Some of them, already operate in this area anyway with different festivals, so they'll have those certifications. And then the fire department is just going to work with Mr. Kelly on making sure that the competitors that are cooking the wings or they're more smoking the wings, that their tents are spaced properly apart, and they're going to work with him on that diagram. We asked them if they thought it was okay that we come in front of you, and they had absolutely no objection. Again, these are minor tweaks out of any event. They're always working with us to up to the last minute to make sure that we have the spacing and proper placement. Still intending on having the music. Still intending on having the kids zone, and it's still gonna be a ticket event with veterans being able to enter for free. Still requesting that we have it at Freedom Park, and again, the hours would be on October 3rd from 12 to 9. Setup would happen on that Friday, on the 2nd, and then so really we would need access to that park that Thursday to that Sunday. Because the tents get delivered, they get set up. The tent company is Ohio Tent. The fire department was very familiar with them and had worked with them at other events also, so that was no one. And then we did notify the EMS department of the event, so it's on their calendar, they're aware of it. They said as it gets closer, they'll decide if they want to have a unit out there or not. Either way, we can accommodate, it's just up to their desire. And then Daryl's worked and notified the police department about it.
Yeah, and I'll just add that from the police department perspective, we talked exclusive, or not exclusively, but explicitly about the access point. So recognizing that, again, there's a single point of access into the park, but the church does allow a second access point. Again, we still need to get a sign off from the church on this, but at least if there's an accident at the intersection, it allows for a separate way to get in. So generally supportive of that. As Jillian indicated, there will be security on site prior and during the event, and then there's a little bit of wrap up. That's not our police department. I mean, our police department will do what it needs to do to support the event, but these are special duty officers assigned to support it. Where our officers may get involved is maybe at the tail end of the event in terms of managing traffic back onto State Route 61. But having said that, most of the attendees are anticipated to be coming via the shuttle service. So
yes, so one thing we talked about in the meeting with the fire department is treating it somewhat like a sizzle. So there is parking here, but the intention of that is we're going to use that for handicap VIP and for the contestants. And then just like Sizzle, we'll use the same parking spots or the same parking drop-off spots with Delaware County Transit providing those shuttles and promoting it that way. Because again, Sizzle, you can't park, there's really nowhere to park down here. Everybody uses those parking spots. So that was a solution to help alleviate some of that in and out access. We'll just have the shuttles running, and then we only have to communicate with the Snyder Funeral Home, just letting them be aware of the event in case there happens to be a funeral that day, or just working around that. But again, nothing that was alarming. And the fire chief, he seemed really happy with again promoting the parking as these access points like we do with Sizzle, and not promoting parking at the event, and it's just exclusive to individuals that would have parking badges.
Just out of curiosity, do we have any idea what percentage of the Sizzle attendees come in via shuttle? Because I know it's heavily used. I use the shuttle every year for Sizzle too. But I'm just curious, as a proof of concept, how many do? Because it's definitely walkable to get to the square, where it's not necessarily walkable to get to Freedom Park.
We don't have an estimate, but I know that they're full all day long.
Yes, I can attest to that.
They are full all day long. So, a vast majority outside of those that could walk to it. This is also a ticketed event. So the one thing that's nice for that, just compared to Sizzle, is we can have an estimation of how many people to expect. Where Sizzle is just come, right? So it's hard, we're not keeping track. We have had estimates and estimations, but this is actually, you need to have a ticket prior or at the gate. So we really get a good gauge beforehand of how many people to anticipate. So that
makes sense. Yeah, it definitely does. I like the idea of shuttling them in and out. I think that's much more elegant than trying to cram a bunch of cars in there. I just wonder how many cars will try to show up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, again, I mean, you guys know you can put it out there, people still don't see it.
Yeah.
So there will be some, you gotta turn around and go. That's just having done this, just get used to that, and it's usually not that big of a deal, especially how we again, we're not remaking, we're reinventing the wheel, we're using areas that people are already part of. And then because this was in New York City and these competitors come from all over, we are speaking to some of the hotels at 71, offering a a group discount or rate discount, so that's, helping to drive business there and, that's an easy shot.
So your shuttles will be in Sunbury only?
Yes, for this event, so it'll, just like Sizzle, it'll be, Big Walnut Grill. Those little parking spots.
So none like on this side of town though? Like at the middle school or anything? 'Cause all
We
these
have the
folks.
middle school.
There's one at the middle school?
Yeah,
Okay.
so for this side of town, we're gonna have the Eagles, we use the daycare, is it Sunnyside Daycare? I apologize.
Yeah, it is.
It's Sunnyside Daycare,
Yep.
and we use
Good job.
the middle school and, they wanted grow Middlefield Bank, and then, in some of the different like subdivisions.
Yeah,
We're
like
minus
pools
some
and
of the-
stuff.
Sure.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have.
I didn't realize you had
Yeah.
one at the
We
middle
probably
school.
want to.
We do. Yeah, but I can't walk to Freedom Park, to your point, so.
Right.
Okay. So I see we had talked about maybe more than one location for porta potties. Are we thinking just that one spot in the corner?
This is in the process of getting reworked with the fire department.
Okay.
That's proper areas, because they had some thoughts of where to put the kids zone versus the stage, so they're collaborating on that together.
Okay.
So again, Mr. Kelly's happy to come back, and we're happy to, again, provide you the final format of it, but since we've been able to meet with them, and then today, they just haven't had a chance to finalize it. But there's
Yeah.
so much space out there that there's a lot of opportunity of what we can do and we can put things.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about cleaning this up anyway. I think our team can help the event organizers do that so that it looks, one, to make sure that we are on the city property. Again, some of these look like they're on the church property, and that's not the intention at all. So we'll clean up the map, but that's a great point. That's a great addition.
So you'll clean up the map and then before the next step, which would be parks.
So, yeah, I think we need to get in front of Parks for their, so that'd be next week. I think there is one council action, and I think that action will be at the park after hours on October 3rd. So the last band performs until 9 p.m., sunsets around 7 o'clock that time. So that's the one council action item.
Do you want it to go through parks and then?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what I'll try to do then is tee it up for Parks next week and then council also next week.
Do you have more on the parks agenda or is it just
We
this?
do have, no, there's, what else? Do you have something else?
I believe we had an update about J.R. Smith and the timeline.
Yeah, that's great.
Is the parks meeting right before the council meeting?
It will be, yeah.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
that meeting gonna be at the high school?
Yes, so,
I can come here and go there. Well, yeah.
you don't have to come here and go there. We're gonna do
This meeting will
we're
be
gonna
at
move the
high
Parks
school.
meeting there.
Oh, the Parks meeting.
Yeah, we'll do the Parks meeting there. So yes, we will have the committee meeting prior to the council meeting. So what I'm thinking is we would do a 6:30 Parks meeting so that it just leads right into the council meeting.
Okay.
We're talking about the 6th, right?
The 29th.
The 29th, because
So we have a,
I'm gonna be out of
Yes.
town on the first Wednesday.
So you moved parks.
Yeah.
That had me so confused. I'm like, wait a second, that's a third meeting.
Yeah, well, I just hadn't
Yes,
asked,
yes.
since we have sort of a new committee.
Yeah.
So will the map be,
I don't know if it would be finalized, but I think Alyssa or Chantria will have it cleaned up prior to that meeting. Again, there may be some tweaks that we'll want to get from the other Brian. But again.
So there's not really a necessary rush to get it to council, but you do want like, this
Yeah,
is okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Think we can speak publicly
Yeah.
about it.
exactly.
Be able to solicit, ticket sales,
So do you want to do that on the 29th?
Yes.
yes, but I think we would love to have your endorsement prior to going in front of them.
Are you gonna do a scheduled visitor so she doesn't have to stay? Is that the plan?
I was just telling her, I said, I don't know if we want to, that'll be a long meeting. Well, she'll definitely be there in front of the parks. We can do that then. How about if we do that? We'll add her.
I think
To the
we
front
should
of the council
as
agenda.
a special, as a
Yeah.
scheduled visitor and she can go first before
Well, the mob.
Everybody else. The others, yes. But as for, yes, we would like to get it, I think, in front of council for action so we can begin to promote it fully. I mean, it's going to be an expensive event. I mean, Sizzle is an expensive event. Putting on an event of this size, requires a lot of sponsors, a lot of planning, obviously, and a lot of money. So they want to be able to do that.
Okay.
And the map, just for full transparency, the finalized map really won't be solidified until we know how many contestants we have. Right, if we have 25 versus 50, then so there may be just in all honesty, a little bit of a delay, but we would have that done well in advance, probably in August, the finalized map, because there's a cutoff date for the entries. So probably know that better, and I can have that date at least for the parks and the council meeting.
And it sounds like he's pretty committed to working with our police and our fire and our EMS and Mr.
Yeah.
Hennessy.
100%. So his idea for any of the special duty is to offer it up to our officers first, and then kind of then to the county and kind of down the.
So you're not thinking about like a security company like you do for Sizzle. You're thinking
So he has a security guy that stays overnight that just watches all the equipment. That's all this guy is. He's worked with him. He has some type of professional relationship with him, and he's the gentleman that they use when they've had it at Earth City. So his intention is just to, again, use him for the overnight, but then the day of the event, having the special
duty officers. Okay.
Yes.
And nothing from police.
I mean, no good stuff. I mean, I mean, it's still, I mean, like Sizzle as well. I mean, there'll continue to be ongoing discussions right up to the day of the event. And again, most of their concerns, I think, will be about managing traffic, people that do show up there. But maybe with the church, it creates an opportunity to kind of loop them right back out if somebody comes in inadvertently or vice versa. And again, without all the attendees arriving via car, I think that cuts down on how much traffic's, entering onto 61. So, but yeah, those types of things we still need to work through, but no red flags.
Is this rain or shine?
Ryan, do you know?
Yes, it'll be rain or shine. It's impossible to reschedule.
I would think. Where you used to have it in Grove City, was it in a place similar to this where it was all open, or was it what kind of?
It was at this is called American Nitro. And they have a really large parking lot. And that's kind of where the events originated. It was something that American Nitro was tied into as like a presenting sponsor. It was at their location. And so it was a little bit different because it was in a parking lot, and then we had like the VIP tents, and the band was in like a grass area adjacent to the parking lot. All the wing teams were lined up, kind of say 10 on one side of the parking lot and 10 directly across.
The event is used to bringing in like electricity, and because we don't have anything out there, we don't have a lot of water, electricity, generators. Okay.
Water was on site, and we had available water on site, but we bring in water.
Okay. There's a lot out at Freedom Park. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're trying to, let's find American Nitro just so you can kind of see.
And Mr. Kelly, he's for the water, and this is in our he's bringing in a big tanker, and the fire chief already said that they would fill that up for the water.
Yeah, so there is the dot is American Nitro. So that is State Route 62 that's running north south with that route. And I think that's, what is that road? Yeah. Southwest Boulevard. Yeah. So it's definitely not a wide open space, but a different type of venue for sure. But yeah, it was in the parking lot, and that's where it used to be.
And again, I did not realize this. A lot of the contestants, there's smoking lanes, which for the police department, that was much better than grace can find
Yeah,
that
open,
type of
like-
thing. And so there's not a huge need outside of, quick wash station emergency, that type of thing for water.
Yeah,
But they were also happy that it was smoking and not like deep frying.
yeah, and they're
That's
delicious.
something new I learned.
Okay.
I'm excited. I like this idea, so.
I think it's a very cool opportunity. We're lucky to have you guys that
Yep.
are sort of like tangibly connected to it and could bring it to Sunbury, so.
I like to see Freedom Park getting used like
Yes.
this. I think that's really cool, because that's an underutilized space.
Let the word say passive park.
Closing down this.
Yes.
I think our police department is happy. Did you say police? Yeah, yeah.
See, that'll get you brownie points.
Hey, any questions or concerns right now? Nancy? Okay, so you'll come back to the Parks meeting on the 29th. It'll be at the high school at 6:30.
Okay.
And then immediately following at 7:30 will be the city council meeting. And the visitor section is right at the beginning, so we will get you in and out and.
Yeah.
And you have Mr. Kelly's contact information?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
All right,
all
great.
right.
Thank you.
We'll see you next
Appreciate
week.
Okay, so
Thank you.
we,
Yeah, we're good to go to move to the next
Okay.
step.
thank you. Good seeing everyone.
Yeah, we'll see you on the 29th. Okay, I don't see any new business on the agenda, so I don't see any visitors. So it looks like we'd have a lot of fun things coming up. Is there anything specific about these events you want to mention?
Yes.
Okay,
So for the Arbor Day tree planting demonstration event, on package page 25, this is the post that we put out. So we haven't really had an Arbor Day event before, but as part of our Tree City USA requirements, we need to celebrate Arbor Day. So we thought, why not make it a standalone event this year? So Aaron Noblet, he will be planting a ginkgo tree. So we're gonna start at the corner, at that pocket, the $1 million lot, the corner of Cherry and Columbus. So he'll be planting a ginkgo tree, demonstrating, like showing the public, how to properly plant your tree so that they have the best chance of survival. The first 100 attendees will get a little seedling from Delaware Soil and Water Conservation. So the idea is they come see the tree planting demonstration, they go home and plant their own. We will also, from Delaware Soil and Water, we'll have a rain barrel demonstration. And then on the square, we will have at our America 250 booth. So with the help of one of our volunteers, she will be helping to run a little scavenger hunt. So on package page 26, we're gonna have a little Arbor Day scavenger hunt. So we'll hand these out to kids. They go around the square, find these items, check off the box, and then you bring your paper back to the booth. You get a little prize, and then there'll be other little activities. We have a spin wheel, and it'll have Arbor Day questions on it. So whatever question you land on, you answer it, you get a little prize. And then there's also some coloring stuff, and we'll have a little Arbor Day craft, so you can decorate your own little leaf. So, yeah.
I think this is awesome and exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of the year about activating our parks. And I know this is just a one-day thing, but it's a great way to start, and I appreciate all the work that's going on behind the scenes for this.
We're super excited. I'm super excited about it.
Well, and I never paid attention before to the fact that, but tomorrow's Earth Day, and then
Yeah.
2 days later is Arbor Day. So, yeah, I think this is so cool that the city is doing this, and I hope lots of folks come out.
I do too. I know it's a little last minute with the advertising it, but hopefully we'll get a good turnout.
All right, and then the other items on the agenda, the Jackson Preston Memorial Fishing Derby. So I think you know the story about this. This is the little boy who has been, was a dedicated fisherman at the reservoir, passed away, unfortunately, as a result of childhood cancer, was recognized. His family was recognized as part of the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So they've renamed this fishing derby in his name. He lives right down the street from the reservoir, or used to live, his family lives right down the street. So it is May 2nd. I think there was a little bit of confusion about that the last time, so I just wanted to confirm that. So we will stock the reservoirs on May 1st. For this event on May 2nd, it'll be taking place in the morning of. It is open to the public, so anybody who wants to attend, you just head on down to the, so that's Sunbury Christian Church. It's their old church down there off of, is it Rainbow? I think it's off of Rainbow, on the tail end of Rainbow. Anyway, so that's that event. And then Market Day, Memorial Day Market on the Square. We've talked about that. So again, that is scheduled for later in the month. And then the Memorial Day commemoration event, this is this is the event for the veterans. So I did have a chance to speak with the chair about the location for this. And so just wanted to share the veterans organizations have confirmed we're going to do this event in the new parking lot right there at the corner of Granville and Columbus. We will get chairs, about 100 to 150 chairs will be placed in the parking lot for anyone who needs to sit. We will give out some passes ahead of time if anybody has mobility issues and needs to park, so that we'll have a few spaces reserved at the parking lot for them. And if we need some, we could park them over at City Hall. I know that's been one of their concerns about moving it to another location, is that some of these individuals, don't have the capability of walking long distances. So I think we'll be able to accommodate them there. And there's power to that site. One of the streetlights has an electrical outlet. So everything they need. Then they will do their traditional march down to the cemetery. So they'll just go down to Columbus Street, stop at the Memorial, Veterans Day Memorial right at the corner of the square, do a 21 gun salute, head down to the cemetery and to the Fallen Heroes Memorial, where they'll do 21 gun salutes at both locations, and then just circle back up here and leave. So anyway, they're happy about that location. It seems to work for them, and so that's how we'll do it.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yep.
And then it looks like just our next regularly scheduled meeting, May 19th.
Well, I sure go for it.
Sorry, I just thought of this, but at the last council meeting, the mayor mentioned the America 250 time capsule. So we are getting that kickstarted on our working group. So I didn't know if you guys had any ideas on what we should put in the time capsule. I know it's
You don't
not
have to
much time
You can
to,
think about it.
Yeah.
You can think about it. We've got a little bit of time. We got to figure out where to locate it, but we have at least, I think, figured out how to get one.
yep, Amazon.
Well, is this something that you'll be asking residents for donations, or how will you, I mean, I can't see purchasing an iPhone or something like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it'll just depend on what.
Yeah, I mean, you try to, identify things that are current today that are sort of represent, city of Sunbury today. And you put them in when we put them in there. So
Yeah, I'm going through and making like a document to kind of help guide ideas, like Mr. Anisi said, like cultural ideas, like what's going on now, what's popular now. Also looking into the official America 250 time capsule that they're burying in Philadelphia. They're burying that one for 250 years, apparently.
oh wow.
Wow.
So
Are we going to do two? I know the mayor suggested 25 and 50 years, I think. Are we haven't decided yet?
No, I think we'll have the working committee do that. So yeah, if you have thoughts and feel strongly about that, we could do that.
I thought 250 would be cool, but then I was like, they have like a
That's a
whole
lot
team of
of
scientists building it, and
Yeah.
from like the preservation experts. I'm like, okay, maybe that's a little ambitious.
So that said, we have heard that there is a time capsule buried somewhere on the square. We have been searching for it. We have been asking everybody who looks like they might be older.
Have we asked Mr. Martin? Okay.
Did you go to Polyhorn?
We have.
Okay.
We have, and that's where we got confirmation. Yes, something was buried, but I don't know where it is.
That's what started this whole rabbit hole. We've asked Chauncey over at the library. He's been digging through old newspapers.
something, a picture about where we're
Something.
Anyway.
Dave Martin didn't know anything
Dave
about
Martin
it either.
did not know.
This must have been buried in Polyhorn. This must have
Yeah.
been buried.
It's a mystery.
So anyway, we'll see if we can uncover that, but,
Might need to dig up the whole square.
that we won't do.
Right.
Walk around with a metal detector?
Yeah.
Do we even know if it's metal?
I've been asking for ground penetrating radar technology, so.
I would ask maybe Roger Roberts.
Okay.
He's been here for a while. He was a teacher in the district. He's usually the town crier
Yes,
at Christmas
yes,
on the Square,
yes.
so he might
Okay.
have some ideas. of-
The Historical Society.
We've asked.
Yeah, that's-
No,
Again,
yeah.
they say that yes, it was done, but they don't know where.
They can't
This is a good
confirm.
lesson when you bury a time capsule, write down.
Yeah, find out where it went.
Just an unofficial.
Yeah.
All right, I will say this, that, if you walk around the square, you will note over near the gazebo, there is a rock on a metal plate, that has been screwed down that I think has the looks of what could be a time capsule. So I think, we've gotten maybe to the point where we'll ask our service team to at least open it up and see if there's anything in there. Not that they will open the capsule, but see if we can't find it. But who knows? It actually might be a good location to bury this one.
I was gonna say, I assume your working committee will
Yeah.
document where you put this one.
A large concrete boulder.
Anyway, but if you have ideas about what you think would be
Yeah.
neat to include, let us know.
I just have a question, talking about the tree planting and then going right to the fishing derby. When we did the remodel of the, reservoirs, did we cut trees down over there? Do you remember?
You talking about on the reservoir itself? No, I'm sure we wouldn't have taken trees down there.
I think so either. I saw a Facebook comment on one of the posts about the tree planting and it said, how about replacing the trees on the reservoir? There's no good fishing anymore, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't remember taking trees down, but I was just like, well, I'll check. But I didn't say that. I was just like, I'm going to check. So
Yeah,
I was just curious.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, we've had a lot of conversations with DNR, the Department of Natural Resources, regarding that. I mean, they're very protective of the banks because if things are planted on them, they actually destabilize the banks. And so from a, like a pure safety concern, I mean, they do not want us.
So they don't want trees
Yeah.
being planted.
No.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if trees had been taken down. I don't remember. Okay, so next events meeting, May 19th. Alyssa, would you email the Parks Committee and make sure that they're aware that, we're gonna be meeting at 6:30 at the high school? So, I suppose will we gonna start to get into a routine of getting the high school ready for city council? I mean, I imagine like it's not just set up for us, so
Now,
is it gonna be difficult to get it set up by 6:30? Cause eventually, if we're gonna keep our meetings there, we're gonna have more committee meetings.
Yes, we will. They were very helpful in terms of getting it set up the last time, and they were pretty much ready for us when we got there. We adjusted a few things, but yeah, it won't take us.
It'll be fine
And
to
we'll
be
be able
ready
to
by
get access
6:30.
prior. I've already talked to Mr. Hall about that. I mean, staff will be there early enough to be able to adjust the tables, get the speakers, the microphone set and the like, so.
Okay.
And the lights adjusted.
And the lights adjusted, yes. Thank you. Yes.
All right. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Capel. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Cap?